Now that the school year has begun and the kids have settled in to a routine, did you have a discussion with your child about the goals that they should be setting for this year in school? Each grade level offers its own set of challenges and milestones that need to be reached in order for the child to successfully progress to the next grade level and eventually to achieve the goal of college admission. If you want to keep your child on track, you need to know what to look for. If you need a little help with this discussion, I got you. Let's chit chat. The school year has begun and hopefully is starting off great. When you logged into Power School or whatever portal it is that you're using to check your child's grades, I hope that it was a great experience for you and that you didn't find yourself shocked and upset. Let's discuss the goals that your child needs to meet for their grade level. Freshman year is undoubtedly the most exciting year of high school. It is only rivaled by the senior year. Not only is it their first year of high school, but it is also a year of brand new starts for everything concerning education. This includes a brand new start to their goals. This is the beginning of putting plans into action. And all of the years that you have been planning and preparing your child to get ready to go to the next level in their lives, the final leg of this preparation has finally arrived. And we are going to see those plans take fruition and start to become tangible as we achieve and reach those goals. Regardless of what was done in middle school and elementary school, the child is going to get a brand new start this year. A new slate is given in ninth grade. Every student has an A when they enter ninth grade, and that A is modified based upon the student's willingness to do work and their work habits. GPAs are just beginning in ninth grade. As your child enters into the ninth grade, there is no GPA that has been established. This is wonderful news. This is wonderful news because the child has the opportunity to build a GPA that is strong and it is going to be sufficient in order for them to achieve all of their goals. It's also important to remember that because this is the beginning of them building their GPAs, it is going to build very fast. And the ninth grade year is going to provide a foundation for their GPAs. So it is very important that they build this foundation very strong. And if the foundation for their GPA is strong, it should be able to hold up through the not so great grades that may be coming down the line, if any come at all. It should be able to support that one or two classes where the child may make a C or a grade that's not so appealing. Don't forget what I said in my previous video about GPAs. The foundation must be strong enough to support all of the other classes that it's going to take on and support. Freshman year also marks the beginning of a brand new transcript for high school students. A transcript is a record of all of the grades that the students take through high school. It also has details of the different clubs, athletics that they participate in, and discipline. When your child applies to go to college, they are going to have to submit a record of this transcript to the universities. No child is admitted to the university without a transcript. This transcript is going to have the name of the class that was taken in addition to the grade that was made in the class. It's also going to have the student's GPA, their discipline, any extracurricular activities that they have participated in, such as sports and after-school clubs. It's basically a written record of everything that your child did in high school. So while the GPA is a numerical representation of the child's performance in high school, The transcript is going to be a written record that breaks down into detail how that GPA was achieved. And this is another reason why it is important that a child retake a class if they did not pass it, because you don't want that negative record showing on their transcript. It is better to show that a child has taken initiative to retake a course after failing it than just failing the course and leaving it there as if it has no importance or significance. Sophomore year doesn't really make a lot of noise. Sophomore year is the year where students are really starting to get comfortable with the whole high school experience, and they have the opportunity to complete their work. They're basically just sailing through completing this year. And because sophomore year doesn't really have any special significance attached to it, it is easy for students to take it for granted and to start to slack off on their studies a little bit. But that would be a big mistake. And this is also the reason why, as parents, it is important that you stay on the child and make sure that the child is maintaining their academic goals, because we definitely don't want them to start falling off and have their grades suffering. In the sophomore year, the foundation of the GPA is just about complete. After a child completes their sophomore year, there are enough classes added on to the GPA that have been calculated that is going to provide a strong foundation. You will find that after sophomore year, it is hard to get a GPA to move up. But if a child does slack off, it will fall down. After sophomore year, you will notice that the GPA is firmly set. It would take a significant change in order to move the GPA up or down. This is another reason why we want to make sure that the foundation of the GPA is firmly set by the time we get to sophomore year. We are making sure that we are using the first 2 years of high school to solidify our GPAs for our students. At the end of the sophomore year, you will notice that the child is halfway to the finish line of graduating from high school. And even though they have 2 years left of high school, they really have one left, because we're going to be wrapping up this program at the end of 11th grade. Sophomore year is a great year to allow your students to begin a process of taking advanced classes if they have not taken them already. If you have students that have finished their freshman year in all standard classes, this is a great time for them to get their feet wet with honors classes. I've seen it all too often where children are daunted at the idea of taking honors classes. And when an honors class is recommended to them, they shy away from the prospect because they don't think that they're capable of doing it, or they think that the class is too hard. Allowing students that have never done so before to take an honors class in the 10th grade is a great way for them to ease into this process and to get the opportunity to see that they can indeed satisfactorily pass a honors class. I think it would be a great thing to see more of our kids taking honors and advanced classes in high school. So encourage your child to take an honors class. And even if they could just take one, they don't have to take 3 or 4. And perhaps once they take that first class and they see that they can pass it, they'll be encouraged to continue to take honors classes. And as noted in my previous video about GPAs, honors courses are a great way to give your GPAs to get their GPAs bumped up a little bit. Junior year, also known as the hardest year in high school. This is the year where students have more of those accelerated classes. In addition to taking those accelerated classes, a lot of them take on part-time jobs. They're working, participating in extracurricular activities in order to meet college requirements. So if your child is in the National Honor Society, they're going to have a requirement of volunteer hours, and they are probably going to be working somewhere volunteering in order to meet those requirements. A lot of the clubs that the students take in high school are going to require that students do community service, and they're going to be completing those hours. In addition to sports, if they're playing sports, and they are also going to be preparing to take the SAT this year. Juniors generally take the SAT at the end of their junior year, the summer following their junior year. They will have an idea of how they're going to perform on the SAT because they took the PSAT in 10th grade. Because of the importance of the SAT test, it is a test that is used in order to get admitted into college. And depending on the college that you are trying to get admitted to, the required score varies from school to school. This can also add a sense of anxiety for the students that are in the process of taking this test. The time management that I mentioned that the students should be maintaining and learning how to manage in ninth grade is really going to come into play here as the students take on part-time jobs and they are working after school, and some of them get off at 10, 11 o'clock at night, and they still have to complete their homework assignments and get rest and wake up in the morning and do it again. All of these things are taking place in what is considered the final year of high school before students begin the process of applying for colleges. Junior year is the final year of high school for a lot of students. After 11th grade, students have perhaps an English course that they need to complete, and perhaps maybe a math course, and perhaps a math class, but they don't have a long list of classes that they need to take. If they have gone in and they were doing what they needed to do and they were getting the work done, some seniors only need perhaps 2 or 3 classes in order to graduate. Junior year is a major year. And once they complete their junior year and they take the SAT in the summer, when they do begin their senior year, they are basically they're applying for colleges and they're waiting for their college admission letters. So for this reason, junior year is typically, for a lot of students, the last major year of high school. And then we have the senior year, and everybody knows and understands what's taking place in the senior year. Senior year is the year where students get the opportunity to celebrate their many accomplishments that they have made throughout high school. They are moving forward to the next phase in their lives. For some, this is an exciting time, but for others, it is a time of reckoning. A lot of students that have not maximized on the opportunity to do great in high school will have an epiphany round about this time. And they will have the realization that, unlike some of their peers, they don't have any plans to move forward into the next phase of their lives. And it leaves them feeling some kind of way. Some students will accept this and just let it be. Some students will scramble at the last minute to try to put things in place to try to correct this wrong that has been made. Some will scramble at the last minute to try to put things in place so that they can move forward with promise. This is the place where I hate to see kids. As an educator, it was always painful for me to see students that did not do what they needed to do in high school. And then when it's time to graduate, they are trying to figure out what they're going to do with their lives. And it prohibits them from being in the celebratory mode that students should be in at this time. This is the reason why I created Regal Awakening Coaching Services, because I do not like to see students that really don't know how to prepare to go to college and to do what they need to do to move on to the next phase of their lives. It is the hope of Regal Awakening Coaches Services that everyone can get some enlightenment and learn how to maneuver and operate through the educational system so that at the end of the educational journey, the students will have ample knowledge and the ability to seek out the different opportunities that are available to them. It's never a good thing to see a child get to the end of their educational journeys and they have absolutely no knowledge about what it is they need to do and what their options are to proceed in life. If a student has a parent that did not go to college, it's difficult for that parent to prepare that student to do what they need to do in order to get them on the track to go to college. Because if you've never did it, then how do you know and understand how to do it? And I'm not saying that a parent that hasn't gone to college can't prepare their child. I'm just saying that a parent that has had that experience knows way in advance the different things that they need to do in order to prepare their child to go to college and to put them on the track to do the different things that they need to do for their futures. The key factor that we could take away from this chit chat is that every class counts. Every class counts and it will be used in preparing your child for their futures. Regardless of how worthless a child thinks a class is, that class is used to build their educational futures. Even if the topic isn't interesting, the student is still taking something away from that course, whether it be reading, making inferences, or succeeding at work that is not interesting to them. There is some benefit that the child is going to take away from every class. Please note that all of the classes that your child takes matter and will be computed in your child's GPA. What will not be listed on your child's transcript is how your child felt about a class or a teacher. So let's help our children realize their post-secondary goals, whether they go to college or the military or become entrepreneurs. Whatever it is that they would like to do after college, let's set them up and get them on the right track to completing this goal that is high school in a successful manner. Thank you for watching the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, please, and have a nice day.